That's all you need. All you need to be successful, not just in film, in life. All you need to do is hold on.
Welcome to the Pantheon Parenthetical. My name is Lance Ash. Topic for today, Cheap Trick. It will be interesting to find out if Cheap Trick took their name from a panel of the Doonesbury comic strip, because there is one from around the time that they decided on that name, in which the Duke character shouts out, "That's a cheap trick!" Big letters. Don't know if that's confirmed yet or not. I'm not immersed in the internet like some people. Anyway, my history with Cheap Trick goes back to initially used to go to Wuxtry and claw through the used LPs just to look at the cover art, really. And I remember looking at the In Color album. It had a gatefold sleeve. You opened it up and there were pictures of the band inside. There was a picture of each member of the band, and the colors and the clothes just screamed late 70s. And I got my first Cheap Trick album at the tail end of the summer of '87. Got a used cassette copy of, I think Dream Police was the first one I got, but it might have been Heaven Tonight. I got both of them within a couple of days of each other. Started listening to them obsessively. This was around the time that Lap of Luxury came out, I think, which wasn't a very good record. The Flame was a big hit. It was a big comeback for the band, and I didn't like it. But funnily enough, the only time I ever saw Cheap Trick was 20-something years ago at the Masquerade, downtown Atlanta. And they performed The Flame, and it was so much better. I was shocked at how good it sounded live. It was just so much punchier. I just had this obsession with them for a while, to the point that I remember having a dream around back then, 87, 88, somewhere in there, that they were living in secret at a compound down the road from my house. And I went to visit them and got in the hot tub with them. Yeah. I think it's just, they're a perfect example of a band that has been criminally neglected. I mean, I know that they have a constant fan base, and they tour a lot. And they haven't gone totally unrecognized, but I for some reason I have this association with them in my mind with Aerosmith, and I think it's a shame they never got to be as big as Aerosmith. I think, well, the reason I have an association between them is I also got into Aerosmith around the same time, and they seem to, I don't know, share something. On at least Cheap Trick's first record was produced by Jack Douglas, and the first 4, 5, 6 Aerosmith records were produced by him. Also, Joe Perry and Rick Nielsen both played on Gene Simmons' first solo record. Supposedly, Rick Nielsen and Robin Zander perform on Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood album, but I've never been able to hear any evidence of that. I'm such a big fan, I even have Robin Zander's solo record. I don't know if he has more than one, but I have the first one. Not much to it, really. I think we're going to as far as future episodes are concerned, we're going to just focus on either individual topics or individual anecdotes. I felt that this one was appropriate because we just finished up my high school years and we're starting my first days at UGA, and I always associate getting that first Cheap Trick album with the end of the summer of '87 and the beginning of my days at UGA, so I thought it was appropriate. Anyway, that's about it for this episode, so thank you very much for listening.